In the endless black of deep space, far beyond the safe trade lanes of the civilized galaxy, the small Earth Scout ship Endurance drifted like a lonely leaf on a dark ocean. Stars glittered coldly around at distant suns that offered no warmth, no comfort. Inside the cramped cockpit, Captain Jax Harlan sat in the pilot's chair, his rough hands steady on the controls. He was a tall man with short dark hair, a scar running down his left cheek from some old fight back on Earth, and eyes that had seen too much to be surprised by anything anymore. At 38, he looked older, lines carved deep by years of hard choices and harder living. The Endurance was no fancy warship. It was a patched-together scout, barely big enough for a crew of 5, built from salvaged parts and sheer stubbornness. Earth humans didn't have the massive fleets of the Zorith Empire or the sleek cruisers of the Vexury Concord. They had grit, clever hands, and ships that could take a beating and keep flying. That was enough, or so Jax always told himself. Right now, the ship hummed quietly. The only sounds were the soft beeps of the navigation console and the low thrum of the engines. Jax leaned back, sipping bitter coffee from a metal mug. Engineer Mia Reyes sat at the engineering station behind him, her dark hair tied back in a messy knot, fingers dancing over screens as she ran diagnostics. She was younger than Jax, 29, sharp as a blade, and the best damn mechanic Earth had ever sent into the black. Across from her, Weapons Officer Rico Valdez cleaned his sidearm with slow, careful movements. He was built like a tank, quiet most of the time, but when he spoke, people listened. The other 2 crew members, Navigator Lena Kim and Medic Toro Santos, were in the back, resting during the long, quiet stretch. It had been 3 weeks since they left the last human outpost. Their mission was simple: scout uncharted sectors, look for resources, trade opportunities, maybe even new colony sites. The galaxy was big, and humans were still new players in it. Most alien empires saw Earth as a backwater death world, too hot, too cold, too full of monsters and storms. Humans were primitives, they said. Soft, weak, easy prey. Jax didn't care what they thought. He had survived worse than alien opinions. Then the alarm screamed. Red lights flashed across every panel. A harsh klaxon wailed through the ship. Jax snapped forward, coffee spilling forgotten. What the hell? Mia's voice cut through the noise, sharp and urgent. Incoming vessels. 3 fast movers closing at high speed. Energy signatures match Zorith fighters, Class 3 interceptors. Jax's stomach tightened. The Zorith were tall, blue-skinned warriors with a reputation for claiming whatever they wanted. They didn't ask. They took. And humans? Humans were just sport to them. Shields up, Jax barked. Rico, weapons hot. Lena, plot us an escape vector anywhere but here. Lena scrambled to her station, fingers flying. Working on it, Captain. But we're an open void, no jump points close. It'll take minutes to charge the drive. Minutes they didn't have. Outside the forward viewport, 3 sleek shapes appeared against the stars. The Zorith fighters were arrowhead-shaped, glowing with blue plasma vents, moving like predators. Their weapons arrays lit up bright red lines of targeting lasers painting the Endurance. A voice crackled over the open comms channel, cold and mocking, translated perfectly by the ship's universal decoder. Human vessel Endurance. This is Commander Vex of the Zorith Empire. You have entered restricted space. Power down your engines and prepare to be boarded. Resistance is pointless. Your primitive technology is no match for us. Jax's jaw clenched. He hit the reply key. This is Captain Jax Harlan. We're on a peaceful scout mission. We claimed no territory. Back off and we'll be on our way. Laughter echoed through the speaker's harsh, echoing laughs from all 3 fighters. Peaceful, Vex sneered. Humans are vermin from a poison world. You have no rights here. Surrender your ship and your lives, or we will take them. Mia muttered under her breath. Arrogant bastards. Jax ignored the insult. He studied the tactical display. The fighters were spreading out flanking maneuver. They wanted to box the Endurance in, make escape impossible. Rico, Jax said quietly, how many shots do we have in the railguns? Enough for 1 good volley, Rico answered, voice calm. Maybe 2 if we overload the capacitors. But after that, we're dry. Jax nodded. Then make them count. The first shot came without warning. A lance of red energy slashed past the Endurance's port side, close enough that the shields flared white. The ship rocked hard. Alarms shrieked louder. Shields at 72%. Mia called. That was a warning shot. Jax jerked the controls left. The Endurance rolled, engines roaring as he pushed them to full. Evasive pattern delta. Mia, reroute power to forward shields. Mia's hands blurred. Rerouting now, but we can't take many more hits like that. Another blast closer this time. The hull groaned as energy washed over the shields. Sparks flew from console. Lena cursed as her screen flickered. They're toying with us, Rico said, eyes narrow. They want us alive to make an example. Jax felt the old anger rise, the same fire that had kept humans alive on Earth through ice ages, plagues, wars. They want an example? Let's give them one. He slammed the throttle forward. The Endurance surged, engine screaming. Jax aimed straight at the lead fighter, the one broadcasting Vex's voice. Captain, what are you doing? Mia yelled. Playing chicken, Jax replied. The fighter didn't move. Zorth pilots were proud, too proud. Jax counted silently. 3, 2, 1. At the last second, the lead fighter veered right. Jax twisted the Endurance after it, railguns tracking. Rico now. Rico fired. Twin streaks of kinetic slugs ripped from the Endurance's nose. The first slug missed, but the second punched straight through the fighter's wing. Metal and plasma exploded outward in a silent fireball. The comms filled with a startled shout from Vex cut short as his ship spun out of control. The other two fighters hesitated, just a heartbeat. That was all Jax needed. Got one, Rico said, a rare grin cracking his face. But the victory was short. The remaining fighters opened fire for real. Energy lances hammered the Endurance. Shields dropped to 40%. The ship shuddered violently. A panel exploded in Mia's face. She ducked, cursing, hands still working. Hull breach on deck 2. Lena shouted. Sealing bulkheads. Jax weaved through the barrage, sweat stinging his eyes. We can't outrun them forever. We need a plan. Mia looked up from her console. Scan shows something ahead, big contact, dead in space. No power signature. It's massive like a derelict. Jax glanced at the screen. A huge shadow floated in the distance, angular, black as night, bigger than any ship he'd ever seen. No lights, no movement. Just there. Heading, he asked. Direct line, Mia said. If we burn engines now, we can reach it in 2 minutes. Jax didn't hesitate. Do it. Full burn. Let's see if that thing has a hiding spot. The Endurance roared forward, engines glowing white-hot. The Zorth fighters pursued, lasers flashing. One blast clipped the rear shields. Shields failed completely on the aft section. Alarms wailed. Hull integrity critical. Come on, baby, Jax muttered to the ship. Hold together. It closed on a massive black shape. Up close, it was terrifying, smooth obsidian hull. No visible engines, no markings. It looked ancient, forgotten, like something pulled from a nightmare. A huge bay door yawned open on its side, slow, almost inviting. No lights inside, just darkness. Jax aimed for it. That's our ticket. The fighters closed in. Vex's voice returned, furious now. You cannot hide, humans. We will burn you out. Jax ignored him. He pushed the Endurance harder. The bay swallowed them whole. The door began to close behind, slow at first, then faster. The fighters fired desperately, but the shots splashed harmlessly against the black ship's hull. No damage, no reaction. Inside, total darkness. Then faint lights flickered on along the walls. Strange blue symbols glowed. Air hissed as atmosphere filled the bay. Gravity returned stronger than the Endurance's. The scout ship settled onto the deck with a gentle thud. Silence. Jax exhaled slowly. His hands shook just a little. He looked at his crew. Mia wiped sweat from her brow. Rico still held his weapon ready. Lena stared out the viewport, wide-eyed. What the hell is this place? Mia whispered. Jax unbuckled. I don't know. But right now, it's the only thing between us and those Zorth bastards. He stood. Gear up. We're going out there. Whatever this ship is, it's waking up. As they grabbed weapons and suits, a low hum started deep in the bones of the massive vessel. Lights brightened. Consoles long dead sparked to life. And somewhere in the shadows, something watched them. A mechanical voice echoed through the bay calm, ancient and strangely welcoming. Human DNA detected. Welcome, heirs of the lost ones. The black ship awaits your command. Jax froze. His crew stared at him. The adventure, the real one, had just begun. What is the black ship? Why does it recognize humans? And what will the Zorith do next? Stay tuned for part 2 and subscribe for more.